Every now and then when I feel a bit buggy, I look at the floor, man, I need a new ruggy. Scratch that, I'll get some beers and get chuggy. Nah, man, I know what I need, some old man huggy. Old man huggy. Some old man huggy. Put your headphones on for proper audio quality, motherfucker.
Recording in progress.
Ooh, what it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes, and who am I with? As always, Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod, episode 178. Love fucking hurts, motherfucker.
See, I didn't do that as the title. Well, I didn't see it on the notes.
I didn't write it. It was just
I did
a fact. It was just what it is.
the Enron of governments. But true, that's fine. Touche.
How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I mean, went to a funeral of the person that I lost back in March, so 2 months ago. What was more of like a celebration of life and their service. Super good. Saw a lot of people. Honestly, it was good. I could tell it was good for everybody, that there was a gap in time between it happening and us getting together in remembrance of her, because it was rough, man. Like, it was rough. One of my best friends, he lost his wife. I mean, he's just a G. He's such a good man to begin with. A lot of people said good stories. I saw people I haven't seen in a really long time. It was a lot. And then, like, yesterday, Cinco de Mayo, which in the world I work in is crazy town. Then, you got like Mother's Day this week. Just a lot going on. I'm on like the tail end, like the last kind of 10 days of arguably probably some of the hardest days I've had, like stress wise, and just like consuming, like 75 days I've had. So I'm, seeing the finish line. I always tell people, look at the finish line. Don't think about the race. You can talk about how shitty the race was when you're done. That you don't gain anything from talking about the race while you're in the middle of it. So I'm just kind of, getting my head above water. Moved into the house. So I've got this room. I got this together as quick as possible, if that's possible, because I have a lot of shit. So this setup will change more. I kind of set it up. But I was trying to figure out how stuff fits. I got about twice as much room, and I've got plans for the setup. I'm probably going to end up hopefully doing this just from sitting in a chair with nothing really in front of me, not sitting in front of a computer screen, do it all offset. And I have like a lot of cool shit that I'm going to actually be able to use. I'd be lying if I said like 99% of my shit in this room, everything out of frame, is just like boxes and piles of shit. So doing better, but still stressed. How are you doing, sir? How you holding up?
I'm all right.
Are you doing better than the last time we spoke?
I guess, dude. For the audience, I got broken up with by my girlfriend on Thursday, and we're recording this on Tuesday. And it hurts. And I'm bummed.
Yeah. I mean, you texted me and I called you pretty quick. I tried to. Like, I was at
I
work.
know.
I was leaving. I don't think I was the most motivating. I think I was probably a little
no,
too
you were just
real,
like,
a little
yeah,
too
you were
hard.
trying to like, yeah, and I was like, I got this like visceral reaction. I'm like, I was like, dude, I was like, are you talking shit
You
about
want,
my girlfriend?
you
Are you
want,
talking shit about my girlfriend right now?
you want.
Because it's like I didn't break up with her. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah,
like
but
30 minutes later.
you wanted to look. You, despite the bravado, despite the stealing people's money at the table, you're a good dude. You got a big heart, and that,
Stealing,
well, stealing,
persuading
you're
them to give it to
yeah.
me.
So I mean, sometimes you want to feel the sting a little bit, and that makes it, like I feel like you almost have to, like for me for a while, for people who don't know, I've been like going through so much stuff that I was just like 100% as sober as possible the entire time, because I'm like, sometimes you just gotta like raw dog shit and just like deal with it. The only way you can really get over it and fully process it is to actually go through the process of doing that. And I think that yeah, I was probably came in a little too hot, but when we spoke earlier just about a week before, I was like, man, I don't know, I don't like these waters, man.
Well, I knew that she was upset, right? Like it was like I can pinpoint like the day where like all of a sudden like things were different. It was like almost like a month ago, I think, to like the day. And I was like trying to figure it out because it was like, like it wasn't like just like some huge event. And like we've talked about it, and like there was like this certain, since like I wanted to like come on here and be like trying to, because I felt like it was like a huge like miscommunication type thing, and just be like trying to like explain these like issues, like, and and just at least be like heard, or something.
Yeah.
But then she told me that she wasn't happy anymore in the relationship. So it's like, how am I supposed to like, I can't, I don't know what to say to that. But I don't know, it's crazy. Like, and then like my fucking like IG reels like knew I was in relationship trouble like at the same moment I did, like like before I was I don't know. Anyways, so it's been like feeding me like crazy shit. Now it's like on some, I don't know. Anyways, but uh there's this shit that they're talking about. It's like avoidant and anxious affection. So avoidant affection and anxious affection. And so it's like in this scenario, I don't even know if like this is what happened, but this is like what I've just been like looking at this shit and like listening to it. And like it's like an avoidant person like gets into a relationship, like wants to be in a relationship, gets into it, but then like if it gets like the intimacy gets like real, like then like their like subconscious like has like a trauma response, like to where they like feel unsafe like when they're getting vulnerable, so they pull away. And then it seems like, and then so like for in this situation I'd be like an anxious attachment person, so it's like they're pulling away, and then like an anxious person's like, oh shit, they're pulling away, and then I'm like trying to like fix it, and then to like her it's like, oh shit, he's like overbearing. And it's like also like a part of it is like whenever you like get into the relationship, it's like it feels like it's like controlling, you're losing your like autonomy. And so like me like being like, hey, like trying to like like figure out what's wrong is actually like making things like worse.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, and if y'all are two different types of attachment in that sense.
But that they say like opposites attract, like that's why these like two attachments are together. But I mean, it's like and I think it's not like this could not even be it at all, but but it just like if you had said that like this was going on like before the like Thursday, I don't think so, but like maybe like now it's like I don't know, maybe like
Yeah, I mean, you can't let
maybe
it,
she just doesn't like me anymore. I don't know, dude. It sucks so bad.
but like you can't let it consume you. Like you, at the end of the day, you're a good.
I mean, like,
No, but I'm saying is like at the end of the day, you're a good fucking dude, and you can't convince some. You should never have to convince somebody to be with you or try to persuade them into being with you or staying with you. Like that's never something anybody should do. She shouldn't do that with you. You shouldn't do that with her. Nobody should do that. Period.
I
But that
I agree. And I said to her, I was like, it's like I want to be with somebody who wants to be with me, but it's like I fucking love this person, dude.
no, I know.
Like, it's
It's frustrating. Like it like I'm not in your position, so I can't say. But I was it's got. I mean, I've been there before, and that shit's super frustrating. I remember this is way back in the day. I was dating a girl in Colorado, and I was talking about like the trauma and the wild shit that went on with my family because she asked about it, and like she straight up said like, I don't want to talk about that. And that from that moment moving forward, it was getting too real, and chick bailed. I mean, like there's everybody's different. You don't know what makes her tick, and what is going to set her off. And if she's not going to be comfortable enough to talk to you about it and tell you what those things are in the first place, then then what are you going to do? Like you can't be perfect.
like she did to an extent. It's just like I just don't know. Like I don't know. It like it feels like with the stuff the like the issues like the incidences like I'll say like just leaving it vague. I feel like are all like they were like red flags of shit she's dealt with in the past, and then it was like, oh fuck, is he like this? And then like I didn't know at first that she was having like some sort of these like feelings. It was like about like jealousy, and then like I would like make jokes and shit about like being jealous, not knowing that she was already like kind of like had her guard up like like because of you know or about me being jealous. And so then it was like I'm feeding into it, and I didn't know that. And so then I'm like, and then I'm like, once she told me, and I'm like playing it back, I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, I'm like,
Yeah,
of
but
course
that's
she thinks that. Of course she thinks that. Like that. But then, but like this is the other thing. Like she splits custody with her child, like with her like baby daddy with for their kid, and like so it's like really we only opportunities we get to like hang out alone like are like every other weekend and Wednesdays and Thursdays. So it's like kind of like when shit happens, like we don't get to like see each other, like, and it's nobody's like fault. It's just like how it is. Like as like necessarily like when you would want to, like so it's like a lot of time will go by, shit builds up, you don't see each other, and then it's like so I felt like that worked against us, and also with like
the outside. What I'm saying is, whenever you've talked about it, and then you told me, gave me some more insight on things, not necessarily those incidents, but just other incidents that have transpired throughout time, I was like, whoa, man. There's like, I feel like there's other underlying issues there that aren't necessarily advantageous to you in the long run. And that's when I was like, oh man, this is not necessarily the healthiest, and it's not your fault, and it's not necessarily her fault, but there are things that transpired that just like are they actively
true. And
work against you. So how like what like I don't like
but I know, but like that's what's so tough is like it's like that like like just cliche. It's like getting into a relationship with like a single mother is people would be like, oh, it's tough. It's like I always it's like, okay, it's tough, like meaning like for like the person getting into it. So but if you're like if it's like me in this case, like if you're like willing to go through it, like then because it's worth it, like whatever, and like this wasn't even that tough. Like I don't, it was like drama, but like whatever.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying there's certain things that like look, if she's having these issues, if she was feeling these red flags, if she was seeing these things, they should have been communicated to you in a healthy communicative relationship. That's stuff
Okay,
that
but
you
let's not
can't.
say that they weren't though. What I and
And if they were, then like, look, man, you gotta like.
I don't maybe they were, maybe it's my bad, I don't know, like, but maybe they weren't, and also like just I'm telling you, like the built-in distance, and then also like we never really talked on the phone, and I brought this up, but it was like later in the relationship, and so then it was like kind of like, oh, why would you just want to like call me all of a sudden? And that's what I feel like it probably came off as, but it's just like, no, I realized that like text messages are getting like miscommunicated left and right, and like I didn't realize it at first. Like I would say, this is
No,
an example,
that's
I
why
would say the word like she asked me like if I want to go on a double date with her, like this is a long time ago, her and her best friend and husband, and I'm like at work, and I'm like, it's like a Friday I think, and I'm like, sure, like that's how I'm thinking, right? I say sure to her, and she's like, so just responds, ugh. And I'm like, what? And then she's like, sure, that's like okay, I guess. I'm like, no, I was like genuinely excited. And then it like clicks to I'm like, if that's getting miscommunicated, like what the fuck else? And 90%, not 90%, but like almost all of our communication outside, like when we're not hanging, oh yeah, when we're not hanging out, it's like via text. So it's like it's like probably just like little shit like going on like that I didn't realize, and so that's like something that sucks, like that I
no,
think
no, and I mean you
could have been
gotta
better.
no, and that's I tell people that all the time. It's like you can't texts are miscommunicated or misconstrued all the time. There's no emotion, there's no voice inflection, there's no context. It's just a statement. So it's so that can
And then it's
easy.
also easier when you're mad at somebody and you're not seeing each other and then you're not hearing their voice. It's like you've kind of, it's like
No, for sure.
it just
Like
makes
the
it's like the
there
distance. It like fucking
texts
does
are
not help.
texts are emotionless. So it can make you come off as like lacking emotion when it comes to certain things, even when you have emotion behind it because you're texting. And
Or
that's what
just anything, just like anything you meant to say that they think you meant that you said something else. That's it.
just like
Whether
whatever
it's
you were
good,
telling
bad, or
me
indifferent.
when you were telling me stuff that was going on. I was like, you need to try to meet up with her and talk to her. Quit texting about this shit. That's one of the first things I told you because it can be mistranslated, lost in communication, man. Like I don't know if Meg Ryan's in that movie, but like fucking a Meg Ryan movie, Lost in Translation. I don't think she's in it, but sure, we'll pretend the bitch is. And that's just what I'm saying. You got to be, but I'm serious. Like that's certain
But,
things, like certain.
okay, so then like another part of this is so not only is it just us that has like only a little bit of time to hang out or lesser time than you would if otherwise, but that is just her time in general. So like she likes to hang out with her friends. I fucking want a girlfriend who has friends and is social, right? Okay, like like uh and so, but this goes back to the fucking avoidance, anxious shit. So in my head, like I'm like, well, this is not even really anxious on me, but I think the avoidance shit. Well, we'll see. Like you tell me. Like she goes out with her friends, and like what I think is cool is like my girlfriend goes out, parties with her friends, and then comes and like sleeps over at my house. Like that to me is like the relationship, dude. Like that's like boom. I got the hot girlfriend who's got friends who then comes over and sleeps at my house. But then like I think to like when I'm asking for that, I think to her it's like I'm asking like come hang out with me, not your friends. And then so she's like, ugh. And then and so instead of then coming over afterwards, she doesn't like want to come over like afterwards because she thinks I'm like trying to like control her and make her not hang out with her friends. But really, so then I'm like, then I'm getting into like the anxious shit. I'm like, why the fuck is my girlfriend not want to come over like after she hangs out with her friends? And then it's like, it's a stupid like,
But this, I mean, no, and I get it.
like it's crazy.
But that's also like, look, like communication. That's lack of communication on both parts.
I know.
Because if she's feeling that, she
that's the
needs
thing,
to
I think
tell
like,
you
I'm
that.
over communicating, and like that's like also pushing her away.
So you're over communicating. She's under communicating and internalizing shit.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, and not saying anything bad about her. I'm just saying.
No, I know.
It sounds like she's not communicating the issues that she's having with you within the relationship, and then is getting, and then it's built, and then it's
communication is a two-way street. So we're not communicating.
yeah,
so
and then it's
if I don't get it, then there's poor communication,
and it's building up to the point to where it's like, I'm mad at you. And then it's like, well, what? And then I'm sure y'all, whenever y'all would get together, you'd spend an hour hashing shit out, getting good, and then
because really, like, I'm telling you, like, this was a fucking cool, fun, loving, amazing, awesome ass relationship all the way up into 1 month ago, and then it's been basically kind of like I've been saying, like, I felt like she was gonna break up with me like that week. And it's been going on for like a month, just like weirdness, and then she did break up with.
But I'm saying, so then there was.
There was like us hanging out. Well, like we were hashing it out via text the whole time. Like me, like like apologizing over and over and over, and then like probably too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
But if that person's not gonna like sit down and talk with you and communicate and work out these issues, like, what do they expect you to do?
Well, but there's like, but that's what I'm saying. Like that, like this shit happens, and then like
you don't need to. I'm just saying
she's busy, and she's busy with like like doing mom stuff, like for like
no,
days.
for sure.
And so it's like tough to. It's just tough to like figure it out, and then
you seem to.
But I'm saying like it was smooth, like.
But number one, anything's possible over time, and you gotta quit being so fucking hard on yourself, man.
I'm not hard on myself. I'm just like,
dude, you're being hard on yourself, and I get it. I know that you feel like you're the cause of this or these issues, but at the end of the day, it is a two-way street. Everything in life is 50-50. There's 2 lanes of traffic. If there's 1 lane of traffic, somebody's getting run the fuck over by oncoming cars. Period. It is work, friendships, relationships, business partnerships. Everything is 50-50. So did you play a role in this? Absolutely. Of course you did. You're a part of it. But did she also play a role in this? Absolutely. She's a part of it too. And it goes both ways. So it's not like you made all these mistakes and she's just 100% in the right for breaking up with you. She did nothing wrong. Like a fucking Clearasil pad, clean, clear, and under control. That's not the case. That's not.
I know, obviously.
But so you need to. So whenever don't sit there and spin your tires on it. And
how can I not?
It's hard not to, but and it will get easier with time. But like, you can be introspective about it. But I always say in life, we move forward. We never take steps backwards. You can look back.
Oh well, dude, I'm already on that shit.
But you can look backwards in retrospect to see where you came from, learn from previous mistakes, look at the rough roads that you've had before. But you fucking move forward, and you're gonna. I know you're doing that, but you like have to do that, and you also have to do that with yourself mentally. You can't sit there and start nitpicking all of the decisions you've made or the jokes that you've made, or you're a sarcastic fuck. I'm a sarcastic fuck.
Just give me a weekend to like. I mean, I'm just like, what the fuck? Because like I've been in like kind of like the fucking fetal position for a month, trying to like figure out how like I felt like I was like watching my relationship like slip through my hands, and then it did. And so, sorry if I'm sad, dude.
No, I'm not saying you can't be sad.
However, it's on now.
He's back.
No. No. I mean, like, seriously, like, I'm going to level the fuck up. Like, I'm like
since we've done this,
resumes are out.
Since
push-ups are in.
Since this podcast started, I mean, there was days where we were. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, because you've talked about your sober journey and everything that you've been doing, which I'm super proud of you, and you've been crushing it. And like, I'm so proud of you for doing that. There's times where you would show up and I would not do the podcast with you. I was like, no, we're not doing this. We're ending it. We'll do it tomorrow. Am I right? That happened multiple times. whenever we started this podcast, like in the mid 40s and 50s and 60s, there was times where we could not do the podcast because you physically were just like out partying and coming back and doing it, whatever. And you've made so much progress in your day-to-day life and in your mental health, your physical health, and in your personal just life in general, that like you have so many things that you've done to get to this point to where you're at right now, that you just got to keep fucking trucking. Like
100%.
And I know you know that.
I was the happiest I've ever been before I met her. But no, it's time to. You're right. Like it's go time. Like a switch has been flipped, bro. Like for real.
Like there is. I mean, it's not the same, but I remember like the checks on the ground. But I got that 82-cent check from Denton County Jail when I got arrested and wasn't talking to my parents and was sleeping on a mattress in a bedroom, but before that was sleeping on like some dudes doing heroin all the times, couch surfing and sleeping on people's floors and sleeping in my truck. And it's like, man, whenever that I got arrested, this light switched. I was like, bro, I'm gonna grind my ass off. And then whenever I got to like what, mid-20s, I was doing pretty fucking good for myself. And I was like, dang, man, if I keep doing this forever, where the fuck am I gonna end up? And I bought a fucking house. Like, it's like, and I never thought that would ever be the case. And it's a different circumstance, but it's the same thing in the sense that, like, dude, you've come so far, just keep leveling the fuck up. And you don't need somebody else to justify it or make it feel like you're doing the right thing or to validate where you are. Because I guarantee you there'll be another chick that's just as hot, just as cool, just as chill, who's gonna communicate better.
Hold up. Let me just say this. Getting dumped by the hottest chick in the world is better than not dating the hottest chick in the world at some point.
Well,
right?
No, and okay, like, sure. But what I am saying is you're going to find somebody that's going to be patient with you as you continue to grow, because the Andy that you are now in a relationship is not the same Andy you were 3-4 years ago. So
that's why this hurts. That's why this hurts, because I've been 2 years sober, right? Like, this is like the most like clear mental, like I've been like spiritually, like I went through a lot of therapy. Like I feel good. I felt really good in this relationship, dude. Like really good. Like, and like this is the first time where I'm like thinking like that like having me saying shit like this, dude. Like I think she's like my person. And I didn't even like believe in that shit. Like. And I'm serious when I say shit like that. Like, it's like, so it's just
and I know I'm not sitting here saying that you're wrong and feeling that way, but I am saying you need to find solace in how far you've come, what you've been able to accomplish.
For sure.
The fact that you are still clear-headed while going through all of this shit too. This is obviously a moment where a lot of people in your situation would slip back into old habits and take steps backwards, and you're not doing that. That's the first thing we talked about. I was like, you're good, because that's more important than you being in a relationship. I'm sorry, with her or with anybody, is that you are fucking good. And that you're still doing what you've been doing for the past 2 years. That's way more important than being in this relationship. At least to me, as somebody who's known you almost my entire life at this point and loves you like a fucking brother, I care way more about that than I care about you dating some chick or not. Because that is the reason you were able to meet this chick, be in a relationship, get to this point, even though it's heartbreaking, is because you are on this journey that you've been on. Guarantee you, it wouldn't even last 6 months. 3 years ago, Andy would have fumbled the bag easy, bro. And now, so your approach is different. You are a different man going into this. So yeah, it probably hurts a little bit more. It hurts more than it's ever hurt before because you're more clear-headed. Because you took it more serious. You're taking your life more serious. Not that you didn't, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's
not that I took it more serious. It was just that I was able to be like emotionally like available and like connected like with somebody, you know. And it's just, oh, bro.
No, and look, you will. I mean, it's gonna hurt for a while, man, and that you will get to the point to where you will be able to do your thing, and you will be able to move past it, and you will learn from these mistakes. You will learn from your own mistakes, and also learn for red flags and be like, hey, you know what? Like, if this chick doesn't communicate with me enough, or we're only talking through text, maybe you need more on the communicative end, so you don't.
That was one thing that I was like, okay, like, so
You're
talking about it next time, but just like advice I would give to somebody going into like a relationship is, just like ask all the questions you would think about, like that you would want to know, like that are like because this is another thing, like I didn't ask really any questions about like her relationship with like the baby daddy like that much, I was like, that's her business, I'll stay the fuck out of it, right? But then it's like as the relationship goes on, like like he texted her one time at like at 11:45 at night, and I asked her, I was like, what is he texting you about? And that was like a big deal because I looked at like her phone, the front screen of her phone, and but then we had like a conversation about it, and like I found out like it's like that he only texts her about like the kid, and he like never crosses the line, and blah blah blah. But it's like, think about it, okay, like any boyfriend who has a girlfriend whose ex-boyfriend is texting them at 11:45 at night, your visceral reaction is like, the fuck is this? But then it's like, okay, but yeah, they do have a kid together, and I'm trying to figure this shit out. And I wasn't like mad, I just asked the question. But the point was that I looked at her phone was the problem. But anyways, my point is that like, had I asked that ahead of time, then we're not like 3 months into the relationship or 4 months in the relationship, whenever this happened, me asking these questions when it's like, and then it's kind of weird, So just like getting like just all that shit out, because not like any of that would have changed anything. I'd still do this 1,000 times over and over and over. Like, but it would just been like better to get it out of the way ahead of time when like the stakes are low, and then that way you're not asking it later on when like people's like emotions are like like a little bit higher.
No, definitely.
And then also the communication, the talking on the phone. But this was also like a unique situation where and also I'll just say it I mean, not, like she lives like with her like parents, so it's like I'm not crashing at her house ever. So like when I say like when it's weekend off, it's like we like don't get to hang out, or we used to not at all when I like hadn't met the kid yet, because like we're like being like careful about it. And then yeah, so like that's what I'm saying.
No, and I got you, man, and like I feel for you, dude. So I don't want you to think that I'm just like super dismissive or anything like that, but I'm super pro you, and I always will be, and I want you to be good, and I don't want to see you beat yourself up, because like I said, everybody plays a role in this. Everybody's got a hand to play, and it's not just you and the decisions that you made or why this didn't work. And I don't want you to feel like that. I'm not going to put any other business out there, but there are things that you told me that I was like, what the fuck? That's fucking crazy. And in a sense of like, there's no way I could ever...
Not about her.
Not about her, but about just other characters and people involved, where I was like, man, that's pretty like out of bounds. And like, I wouldn't... How could you even entertain some shit like that? And that for me is like where I was like, hey man, like there's communication, there's a lack of communication and a jumping to conclusions map that exists at times. That's not fair to you. That's not like, it can't be you versus the fucking world when it comes to a relationship, because then that's not fair. Then that's what I was saying, and that's what was frustrating for me. And like, no,
I agree, it was frustrating for me too, like just like dealing with well, let's just say the baby daddy could have been more cooperative or helpful or whatever,
or just like
cordial.
Yeah,
and just leave it at that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not jumping into everything, but there was things where I was like, whoa man, that's fucking crazy, and I would be like, what the fuck? But like, you're like, look man, you've got you got some time to think about this and process it, and it's going to be a process, but at the end of the day, I'm fucking proud of you, dude. And you've come just a long way as a person, and like none of us are infallible. So I'm still trying to do the same. But you've come such a long way, and you're so clear-headed about it. I'm glad you texted me whenever it happened, because you know I got your fucking back. So I was like in my car driving, like leaving work, like, what up, like, you good, dude? Because like I know that we talked about how you were kind of worried about it, and you know, like, I love you, brother, and like it's not trying to come at you or anything like that. I'm just being supportive, and I'm just gonna leave it at that shit. We'll just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that. But any gambling news? Did you win any money? Just yes or no?
I did, but like I'm honestly, I have no idea. I'm trying to think.
Because you keep posting these videos of like you start and then you go. And
no, like the last two I posted. So Instagram like has a new app called Edits, and they like gave me like a pop up like, hey, you've been chosen to use it. I mean, I don't know. They probably gave that to everybody. Like, that's not a flex, but that's how I found out about it. So I clicked on it, and it was like a way to edit the videos. But I wanted to see. So the videos I had already sent out, like 2 of them, like recently. Those, like, I didn't like put any like text or anything really to it, or like. So this, because before I sent those 2 out, the one before that, 25,000 views. Shit went, and it had like text like of like the chip, or like the chip stack and shit like that. And then these other ones, it was like 1,000. So it was like, I was like, maybe if I add that shit with this new app, and there was like transitions and then music, see what happens. So but the thing is, it's like, because I've noticed, like, if you use like the same pictures in a reel twice, like it will get out of the algorithm, like if it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The second time around. But anyways, that's what I was fucking around with that. I added in all of like the times on there are legit, like with the stacks, but like I added a selfie in the beginning of one of them, just for the congruency. So I was like, I took it, put it in the video, but it wasn't from that day. But everything else is legit.
Okay. I don't know if you're watching any of this basketball, but Cavs lost on a buzzer beater again, down 2-0. Lost both games in Cleveland.
I was watching, but
crazy. I don't know if the Warriors won, but they were up decently big. My Celtics lost, which is pissing me off, but I like our chances. Yeah, Warriors won 99-88. Damn, all these top seeds losing, bro. You ready to get into therapy questions?
I'm ready to get into therapy.
Well, we'll start off with some therapy questions. Therapy question number 1. Who's worse, the boomers or the greatest generation?
Boomers.
Boomers? You think boomers are the worst?
Obviously.
Why? I'm just curious as to why. Why are
okay? Other than the greatest generation calling themselves the greatest generation, boomers. Like, boomers are the petulant childs that fucking just swooped over the world, fucking just gassed up the fucking atmosphere, took all the real estate, fucking took all the education, all the stocks and bonds, motherfucker, commerce, took it all, pulled the fucking ladders up. What did the greatest generation do? Fucking killed a bunch of Nazis and kamikazes and fucking set up the world order that your boy Trump over there is destroying right now.
True.
What's wrong with the greatest generation?
I mean, they were like perpetuating like racial stereotypes and being openly racist, and it was acceptable. Like, you couldn't.
What else is new? Else is new?
Have
you been outside?
Well, I know that's making a comeback, but
I think the comeback has been made.
Yeah, you just leaned back and your pup just like popped her head up and went back down. Yeah, I mean, boomers are by far the worst. I mean, the greatest generation has its flaws, and they're pretty obnoxious. and now they're just rude and impatient, and they're terrible drivers. But I've said this for a while. Whenever the baby boomers reach that point to where they shouldn't be driving anymore, like, good luck taking one of their fucking keys, dude. They're gonna be.
Are they not there yet?
Are,
My mom's 70.
yeah, I guess. But I mean, is your mom?
My mom's right in there. So like, baby boomers is what, 45 to 60. Yeah, my mom's 55. I'm saying like 1945 to 1960 is like when boomers were born.
Oh, yeah, so my dad's a boomer.
Generations are 15 years.
Oh, so my dad's a baby boomer, but he's fucking chill. He wasn't for a long time, but now he's chill. Like when I was like, he's chemical engineer consultant. He's like, oh yeah, we knew we were destroying the planet in like the 70s. I was like, oh, you motherfucker. Like, like it didn't like, but now he's like diehard, liberal Democrat.
I guess you could say
there's a lot
early boomers like did the civil rights movement.
Yeah. So I mean, there's lots of things where they like rebelled against their like racist parents. Like, I mean, I would rather live in the 80s with a bunch of boomers than in like the 30s and 40s with the Greatest Generation. Like, I would be working at the dock. I wouldn't even be allowed to use a computer, let alone know what it was if it existed then. They'd be wiping my historical war records from like all education. They'd be like, oh, the Tuskegee Airmen, they didn't exist, and we don't need to talk about Jackie Robinson. Like, there's a lot of stuff that happened. I mean, Jackie Robinson would have something to say about boomers versus the Greatest Generation. Like, boomers are worse, especially when it comes to the property, the finances, like accumulation of wealth. A lot of that stuff, very self-serving, very selfish. But I think the Greatest Generation, like in World War I, World War II, defeating the Nazis, like it kind of like,
don't forget Korea, baby.
We don't go back really farther than that and talk about anything up leading to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the Greatest Generation with Emmett Till. Like, oh, there's some white. I'm just saying, it was the Greatest Generation.
I'm depressed right now, and you're bringing Emmett Till up in
it was publicly acceptable to like lynch a black dude in your neighborhood when the Greatest Generation were like, oh, we live in a neighborhood. That's
is like when people talk about like the Japanese internment and the genocide of Native Americans, and like they're like, oh, they don't teach that. It's like, well, I mean, how do we know about it then? Because I got taught that for sure in Texas, like, but they don't talk about
like sundown
lynching
in neighborhoods. Bro, there's pictures where it's like families.
It's the entire fucking neighborhood is out there like it's a fucking spectacle. Not even a spectacle, like it's like a Sunday night movie in the park.
A block party. I'll bring the chips. I'll bring the Funyuns.
But so like this, like, I don't know, maybe like I don't know, let's say like 15 to 18 years ago, something like that. Maybe in my early 20s, I saw a picture of like that, and like it hit me, and I'm like, the trauma that, like, okay, just disgusting as fuck that you, like, anybody would do that to any human being, period. Like, just hang them in like the fucking streets of where they live. Are you kidding me? Like, for no fucking reason.
And then do a photo op. Not just do that, then photo op. We better document this.
But think about the psychology of what that does to people who just go out there and watch that fucking shit happen. Like how like toxic that is to like society, and like how that like permeates like through society. Like just witnessing people behave like that is like probably, it's so crushed. It's like exactly how like all the like IDF soldiers out there like in Israel, like the shit that's going on in Gaza, like the shit they witness and like have to like, or just are told to do, like, and put themselves through, and like just like because you have to like dehumanize people in order to treat them like that, and like and so like just which is unnatural for humans to dehumanize a human, dude. So it's like, it's so fucking, and that's soul sucking, crushing, like, to do.
And that's like, and that's when you say, like, it's like obvious, especially for us, when we look at the structure of the world now and where we're at as millennials and what we're doing and what we've got going on in our lives, it's easy for us to rag on these fucking boomers. But these boomers were also like, fuck that shit. This is crazy. And so there was a whole, like I'm saying, is World War I, World War II. Hitler showed up and was awful and basically takes the rap, like there was a huge issue in this country when it came to how minorities or anybody was treated. Like the fact where even like if you just take that out and just do internment camps, that's crazy. Like you talk about these things that the greatest generation put in place that were publicly and socially acceptable. If you lived in one of those neighborhoods and you were anti hanging the black dude from the tree at the end of the cul-de-sac, like you were outcasted. You'd be like, we better move because our neighbors hate us because we think they're gross for hanging that black dude who was a door-to-door salesman. Like that's fucking crazy. So there's no way we can ever. I don't think we'll ever fully grasp how toxic American society was at that period of time. In a way that was inherently violent and inherently dangerous.
What I mean is the repercussions of that still permeate through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, there's kids who sat there and watched that, and they raised their kids, and those are some kids we went to fucking high school with. Like, I guarantee you, if you took our graduating class and you broke it up, I bet you there was at least 200 kids of our graduating class that somebody in their family was a descendant of somebody who watched a black dude, whether they had anything to do with it or not. A black dude was hung in their fucking neighborhood. Because it was like prevalent these white people are trying to go help black people vote, trying to do that. We're gonna pull them over on the side of the road and kill all of these people, these white guys who are trying to help black people out. That's fucking crazy. And that was like, oh, we don't know who did it. The woman who accused Emmett Till of assaulting her is still alive. She's still alive to this day. She just vibes out. You can see pictures of her like smoking cigarettes and shit on her porch, not a care in the world. And that woman admitted to lying and getting a young black boy killed. Just lied.
For the audience, Emmett Till allegedly whistled at a white woman. He's like, what was he, like 5-year-old black boy, and a bunch of dudes, white guys, grabbed him, mutilated his body, and killed him. And his mom, whenever they had his funeral, put him in an open casket so that the world could see what these people did to her son. And it kind of shocked America, and it kind of energized the civil rights movement. It was early on. And then
she later admitted that didn't happen. And it makes you wonder how many times something like that.
The lady who said that he didn't whistle at her, even if he fucking did, you know what I'm saying? What are we talking about?
No, but you see but then she admitted that she lied later.
Which is insane. So he didn't even do that.
He didn't even do it. And it's and then nothing happens to her, but it's just fucking psycho. So the world that existed then, that's why we've talked about time machines. There's so many black comedians. It's I'm not going back past 80, when I was 87, when I was born. I'm not going back to the 50s to go see Back to the Future. You take Michael J. Fox out, you put Michael B. Jordan in Back to the Future. That is a completely different fucking movie. Totally different fucking movie. The only black guy in Back to the Future is, I guess, B.B. King or whatever, and he's playing the guitar and he's just shucking and jiving at their prom. And then Michael J. Fox steals his guitar anyways. And they're like, oh, this is rock and roll. A white guy taught him how to play guitar and create rock and roll. There's no black people in that movie because that's pretty fitting for the suburbs. That's why the suburbs existed. Great White Flight, man.
Literally.
Yeah, my dad used to live in Chicago, live in Chicago, and they moved the fuck out.
Well, tell your dad that your dad's white. You have to say that.
Yeah, because they moved the fuck out. They moved out of Chicago.
I know, but it was
the thing. It was the thing to do. Oh, we got to move to the suburbs where it's just us, and it's too expensive for them to live because everybody's taking over the city. That wasn't him.
Your adoptive dad is white. There we go.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's my dad, man.
I know, but people are going to ask me.
Unless you're my biological dad.
Or the audience.
Unless you're my biological dad, hit me up. You're apparently...
Wait, what?
I said, unless you're my biological dad and you're watching this.
Oh, I thought you were saying
apparently, apparently he's Asian. Yeah, that's a lie. Have I never told you this story?
You told us
Yeah,
that
okay.
story.
Yeah, yeah,
but-
okay. Yeah. So if you're an Asian guy looking for your half black
No,
son,
he's obviously not Asian, dude.
come find me. Holla at ya, boy. Let's go.
Come on, man.
Tiger Woods. Let's go.
Oh man.
Therapy question number 2. What new age names piss you off now? There's a lot of stupid fucking names.
All the ones that you use to make fun of white people. That like specifically when you say it, it pisses me off.
I heard a
You know
really,
what I'm saying? Like I feel like, yeah.
I heard a really
It's like-
dumb one. Amberly. That was like, what? That's not even a real word.
Amber Lee is like a common. What are you talking about? That's
Oh, there's Amber. Amber Lee. No.
Amber Lee. Yeah, dude, that's like some South shit. Yeah.
Nah, man. It's made
Yeah.
up. That's made up.
But that's not even new. Dude, I bet that lady who said that he whistled at her, his name is Amber Lee.
Not Amber Lee. Amberly.
Leigh.
No, it was like Li. It was like AMBERLYIE or some stupid shit like that. My favorite's Pricely.
I know.
It's unisex.
That's so fucking funny. I was going to open with Pricely.
Pricely.
Whenever the Iron Ape was asking me what we were going to talk about, besides me getting my heart fucking destroyed, I was telling him about the therapy questions. Price. I said Pricely. He said all of them, every one of them.
See, but like Chad's old. Chet's old, so those don't really.
What's wrong with those names?
But like Remington,
Chad.
Remington, that's a dog's name. Gunner's stupid. So if you name your kid after anything that has to do with a gun, it's pretty stupid. You know what? Like Colt. I'm like, get out of here, your kid. Unless it's like fucking Three Ninjas.
I don't know. What if he's like an assassin, bro?
No, then you're blowing your cover. This is my son, Sig Sauer. This is Colt, and this is my daughter, Pricely. They're like, I think he's an assassin. All of his kids are named after guns.
Your boy, the assistant principal, who's old, that you talked to, his wife, what's his name?
Oh, Chauncey Dub, dude.
Yeah, Chauncey. He pulled me into the office because they were doing an indiscriminate heroin dealer search. He sits me down on the desk. Never done heroin, like didn't whatever the fuck, like never even seen it. Oh, I've seen it, but
I guess they were ahead. But with our grade, I guess they were ahead of their time.
Well, there was something going on.
Too
Somebody
early.
had heroin, but they bring me in, and he goes, that's it, dude. He goes, they're telling me, dude, you're the one. You're the one packaging it. You're the one getting it. You're the one selling it. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, heroin. And I was like, what the? I go, no, dude, no. And then he goes, it's like, you're fucking up or something like that. Like, no, not saying that, but like basically like telling me like, like basically like now that I'm not the heroin dealer, like he has to like scold me. He's like, you're the reason why you're in here. I was like, and then he asked me what I wanted to be when I grow up, and I said a mercenary, like which is just a fucking assassin.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I think you probably should, you could go to the military for that, to get training.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, he's instantly like, okay, that's my kind of guy. Like, all right,
Yeah, okay.
I fuck with that. Okay.
Yeah, for Fallujah, you're gonna go to Fallujah?
I thought about doing that, and then I ended up being the principal of Carroll ISD. Oh no, did I ever tell you that I had it was Memorial Day? I might have told this story, but I was working for the Marriott. It was Veterans Day, and they were showing pictures of all these people, and I had this goofy F&B director, and his name was Gonzague, and he was this huge French dude, and he was the nicest fucking guy ever, fucking hilarious. And they're showing everybody that works on the property who, they have their pictures up. His picture pops up of him, young, yoked out, French Legion Special Forces. I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, oh yeah, I used to go around and do so. I was like, dude, tell me fucking stories. Like, what the fuck did you used to do? And he's like, I can't really talk about it. The craziest shit ever. But he was like the nicest man. You would never saw it coming. And then it was like French Foreign Legion, Special Forces. He's like, I served for 15 years. I was like, and now you like run hotels? How the fuck did you wind up here?
Wait, is he French?
Yeah, Gonzague.
Because the French Foreign Legion, I thought were
You can join. So there's so you can join.
I thought it was like people who weren't French who were fighting for the French.
You can show up, but you can be involved in their special. So you could be special forces for them, but you don't have. You have to like go up and you. I mean, technically, we could try to join. We probably wouldn't make it, but you like walk up. There's some.
I'd much rather join like the Ukrainian Foreign Legion, bro. Just go out there and kill some
so French Legion Special Forces, but he would the Foreign Legion. You show up. And they take your shit, and then they just start making you like train the fuck out of you. You can be sentenced and like sent to go serve in the French Foreign Legion, and be like, all right, you gotta go serve like 10 years, and after that you're free. And they like own you. It's like pretty hardcore. Those guys are crazy. But it was wild because he was just a dude in a suit who ran a resort, super goofy French guy, who's like older guy too. He was like an old man, so he was in his like I don't know late 50s, early 60s, and it was this picture of him. Like just yoked the fuck out with this beret on, holding like a M16 or something. I was like,
about to be me, bro.
I was like, bro, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. All right, next question. Therapy question number 3: is self-care becoming toxic, or can it be toxic? Because I 100% think self-care is becoming uncontrollably toxic.
I think it can be like exploitative for sure.
It's become a new excuse for everybody's bullshit. Self-care.
Like what are you saying?
Like you
are you saying like when my sister doesn't want to talk to us, so she says like that she doesn't feel safe, or like this doesn't feel like a safe place, or like that she has boundaries.
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but boundaries is a new way of saying it. But like the whole self-care of like I know people who can't pay their bills because they're constantly in like doing this.
Sorry, Maggie to throw you off.
No, but like doing this self-care shit, like where it's reaching a point where it's become an excuse to like get out of responsibilities, avoid confrontation at all costs, even when it should happen. Like there's this, it's become the new like boundaries. I just need my boundaries. I need my space. Now it's like this isn't really good, and I'm focusing on my self-care. So I need you to back the fuck up.
I just think people use it to get
yeah,
out of shit.
Yeah, it's like it's become like a crutch for people, and it can be toxic. Either it's they're spending too much money on stuff, they're wasting it, they're using it as an excuse. So like now, if you have a shopping addiction, you can just say it's self-care, and people are like, oh, you go boy, you go girl, like you do you. I want you to be happy and be in a good mental state. And it's like, yeah, but like you're blowing your money, like pay your goddamn bills. Fuck your self-care. Like you need to take care of you have responsibilities, you're accountable for shit. And you can't keep using that as an excuse to just like skirp out. Like avoid, I don't know, it's become like a deflector shield for people, I feel like. Calling into work, I got fired from my job because I was having a rough day and I couldn't go in, and they didn't understand that I needed a day for my self-care and just to, take care of myself. And I'm like, that's the craziest shit I've ever... How many times have you done this before you got fired for it? Probably a lot. Probably more than one. I wouldn't believe you if you told me it was one, because that's absolutely ludicrous. Like, it's become this new... And especially the younger you get. The younger you get, the worse... the lower in the age group you get, the worse it is. Like it's become this whole. It's
the
like
younger you get.
Well, I'm saying like if you were to look at ages on a spectrum, the lower in the number you get. So if you find a 22-year-old,
the younger you are.
Yeah, the younger you are. But I'm just talking about us observing it. So if you looked at 100 people from 55 and you took them all the way down to 15, that 15 to 24 range, it's like out of control. How much self-help, self-care bullshit that they use as an excuse. It's almost like, oh, I'm on the spectrum. Everybody's on the spectrum, bitch. Like, you're not special. I have ADHD. So can I just walk around and start telling people I'm autistic and use that as an excuse for like being an asshole whenever I'm at the bank. Like, I don't think so. But some of these young kids think it's totally acceptable to be a dick, and they're just like, well, I'm on the spectrum, and I'm self-diagnosed with Asperger's. I'm like, that's not how it works. Like, Elon Musk has Asperger's. Like, we can all diagnose that this dude he is totally on a spectrum of something. Racism, child labor, all sorts of stuff. He's on a spectrum for sure, but like, you just can't just like announce all of a sudden. I think we talked a bit years ago about when people were just dying.
No, I think you can. I've been watching. Have you seen the dude who's like on the subway with the Metro cards who does like the hot takes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been watching a couple of those, and
He's pretty good.
So he's like, he's like hard agree or hard disagrees, but basically like somebody has a hot take, he either agrees or disagrees, and then they talk about it. I forget what the fuck the handle is, or otherwise I'd shout him out. But hard disagree, bro. What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about his self-care becoming toxic. But,
no, I know.
But now I'm saying just like people just announcing that they're like autistic and on the spectrum.
Oh, okay. This is my argument. Isn't everybody on the spectrum? Isn't that why it's a spectrum?
Well, yeah, okay. Like, yes, and arguing semantics for sure, but I'm talking about in a
No, I really
section.
want to know. I want to know that because I say that a lot to people, not just in this conversation. It's like, is everybody on the spectrum? Because that's what a spectrum means, right?
True, but then so there would be a portion of the spectrum that you would be autistic. I feel like back in the day when we were kids, you'd have to jump through hoops to be like, this person is autistic.
I agree. But like I've seen
just
some funny
announce it.
stuff like people are saying, like boomers would be like, oh, there's so many autistic people now, like RFK and shit says that. But it's like, yeah, sure. And the dude down the street who had $1 million in model trains in his garage who would complain about the lights being too bright on the streets wasn't autistic at all. It's like, yeah, dude. Like shit. Like, I don't know about that specifically, but like, it was just being undiagnosed, and that is the reason for the uptick in diagnoses. Or in cases, I should say, is because they're diagnosing it differently than they did in the past, which means inherently the way that they're doing it, there's going to be more people.
Well, like, because I had like mad,
but it should like level out. Like,
I had mad
I don't think
ADHD when I was a kid. Like, and that was they put me on any type of drug you could think of from first grade till I started like giving it away to people on the school bus freshman year of high school. I'm like, do you just want my Adderall? Because I don't want this shit. And it turned me into a zombie. The ants, yeah, that's what everyone said. And I was like, dang, I should have hit a lick. I could have made so much money. But it was the answer for me being hyper, wanting to be communicative and talk with people and having tons of energy, especially away from home because my home was psychotic. So school was really an outlet. The answer was to like just dope them up, drug them up, and they'll shut up and sit there and be quiet, which is like totally not the fucking answer. But now what I'm saying is if you're people just announcing, like using I'm like, oh, don't talk to me. Like I cut you in the line at Starbucks. You confront me and you're like, hey dude, I was in line first. And I'm just like, well, I'm on the spectrum. I'm autistic. I don't handle confrontation well. Like it's an excuse. It's being used as an excuse to be shitty to people.
I think it can be, but like, you're right. Like, and that's probably part of like the woke backlash shit. Like, it's just like, sometimes y'all take it too far, dude.
It's like people faking like vaccine injuries and like sitting there like, I haven't been able to walk. There's a great news story. This is from like maybe 20 years ago where a woman like
you know what it is? Hold on. You know what it's like? Service animals.
Oh my God, dude, don't get me started on that. An emotional support animal is not a service animal, by the way. Not a service animal.
Where's both?
I could deny you entry into a place because it's not. No,
I have a certificate.
The certificate doesn't mean shit. What tab?
Trust me, mine is legit.
Well, but what
It's expired, but it was legit.
what service does your dog provide? Because a service animal, an actual.
She's a psychological service animal.
Okay.
Seriously, like my brother like harassed the person over the phone. It was crazy. He three-way called me. Okay, me and my brother are moving into Westlake. You can only move it into this bougie apartment complex, with a pet if you have a service animal, and so we had to get where certified, and he's getting this place to do it, and then he three-way calls me with the operator on there, and he's just like mean to her. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? And he goes, lady, we need this right now, like, and then she's gonna be an emotional support dog or whatever the fuck that shit is. And then she's like, and then you'll get the certification in like 21 or 28 days or something. But he's like, what? And then she goes, or you can make her a psychological service animal, which is like way more legit and like the real thing. And then we'll just email it to you and like after this call. And Brady's like, my brother. He goes,
Braids.
He goes, yeah, let's do that, because that's what she is anyways.
What? How much did it cost?
Like, I think it was like under $200.
That's not too bad.
And we got like the vest and everything, like the red one, like vest. Fucking like quickly, like first of all, it's hard to figure out like how to put it on, but like quickly, this is before she she's on 40 milligrams of Prozac daily.
So she needs an emotional support. She needs a psychological support animal now. So I have two. This is a service animal for my service animal.
Whereas mom, because I split custody, was dropping her off, I told her that what happened, and she's like, oh, she had like taken. I pick her up on Mondays. She had taken yesterday off, so she's like, so whenever you're like ready, I could drop her off. She's like, she might be like emotional support or whatever. And I was like, yeah. I was like, two depressed people together, like that's so much better. She's like, she's not depressed, and I'm like, she's on fucking Prozac. Like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking? I have to give her a medication every day. Like, she's not depressed. What are we doing?
Yeah.
It's news to me. Maybe that's why she's not depressed. Maybe that's why. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. All of those things are becoming toxic, though. Therapy question number 4: is a future utopia possible? Wherever there's,
No.
You don't think so? Yeah, I don't think so either.
You can't have the sun without the rain, homie. You can't. Yes, I mean, obviously you can, but like I'm more like the light without the dark.
Like, there's, not to get nerdy, but like in comic books, there's Doctor Doom. Love Doctor Doom. And also shout out MF Doom, R.I.P.
Shout out.
Doctor Doom, or Victor Von Doom, is like, all right, I can create this utopia, and there's so many different timelines where he creates it, and then he ends up like destroying it because he's just like a petty fuck. But he like is like, oh, everybody gets this, and it's cashless society. Everybody lives, everything's clean, everything's perfect, and it ends up getting fucked up. Like, there's always going to be somebody it's in their best interest to not have that, and nothing's going to stop those people from getting what they want, which is the opposite outcome, which is not having some sort of utopia. So, like, you know, there'll be like the war machine or the military industrial complex or whatever else you want to call it. I mean, I don't know how we'd ever like all get the fuck along, right? I guess that's like the pipe dream, but I don't think that's even possible.
No, man, the world. Yeah, no, I don't see it.
I mean, is it even worth trying? Is it worth even attempting to do?
All right, you know what? Can I just throw an audible in here? Can we say that we created the fucking category of 100 men versus one gorilla, and now this shit's like all over the goddamn world, and it's like, no, dude, like we were doing that shit 2-3 years ago.
True. Big facts. That's big facts. We were actually talking about stuff like that.
Fuck out of my fucking face, dude.
There's no way 100 men could beat a gorilla. There's like simulations of it, and it's
What?
no.
What?
With bare hands, no weapons, a gorilla
Yes.
would destroy. No, there's no way.
What if you jerked it off?
Even then, good luck getting close
What
enough
if you
to
jerked
it.
it off?
I mean,
Somebody's got it. What if you sucked it off?
I mean, maybe. I guess you still gotta get close. You gotta get close, man. And if there's no weapons, I don't think you could punch a gorilla and like phase it at all. There's no way. It would pick you up and use you as a weapon to knock other people over. It would destroy. It would destroy 100 people. If you put a gorilla in a gym with 100 people, full-grown male silverback gorilla it might get
Can't
hurt.
wait. Can't wait.
It might get hurt. What are you gonna do? Kick it in the leg? You're gonna break its arm, dude. Those are built like a brick shit house. It's faster than everybody in the room too.
Rick Stacy told my dad I was built but like a brick shit house. All right. I'll just leave it number. But
I set Rick
he did
Stacy's
say
field.
that.
I set Rick Stacy's field on fire before he was mayor.
Yeah, I used to be the mayor of our town.
And then I like that I broke a bunch of windows in his barn and then bumped into his oldest son one time. And I was like, I was purchasing a couch and was like, hey, man, my couch is taking forever. You work for Stacy's Furniture. And we talked for about 15 minutes. And he was like, you were that shitty black kid who lived on the cul-de-sac next, like behind our house that set our field on fire. And I was like, yeah, that was totally me. And he's like,
He said shitty black kid?
didn't say that, but he was like, you were that punk ass kid on the street who set our field on fire and broke a bunch of windows in our barn. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, and I chased you. He chased me for about 20 minutes and couldn't catch me, and I got away. And like hopped some barbed wire fence, pulled some okie doke, disappeared in Southridge Lakes, and then we crossed paths as adults. And then I was waiting on my couch for about 3 months because it was being custom built and they were dragging ass. And I got a call the next day being like, Mr. Huggins, your couch is ready for delivery. Would you like it today or tomorrow? Like, he was like, I told him about my couch. He was like, yeah, I know that one. Yeah, like, I think we should be getting it out in like the next week or two. And then we talked. Ended up paying for his lunch at the place I was working at the time because that's where he was. He's on his lunch break in a Stacy's Furniture. And I was like, oh, I used to play football with like Travis and Aaron. And he was like, oh, shit, those are my cousins. Rick's my dad. I was like, oh, fuck. I used to live on Blanco Circle. And he was like, oh, damn. And then it just like, I was the only black guy on Blanco Circle, so we figured it out pretty fucking quick. And my couch showed up the next day. And I was like, shout out. Shout out to that guy for hooking it up. Bygones being bygones.
He used to burn money on TV.
Yeah, he still does. Still runs those ads. There's like 4 Stacy's Furnitures now, I think. The biggest one's still in Grapevine. It's bougie. They still run commercials.
Of course there is, bro. There'll never be another furniture store in that area because boomers pull the fucking ladder up once they get the sweet cash.
And he was burning like $1,000 on TV in cash, like in like 94, where it was like, whoa, that's like
illegal.
That's like my car payment, my mortgage payment, and my kid's college fund, like all in one scorch. He's like, you ain't trading with me. You're burning money. And I was like, holy shit. How many takes do you think that took, too? Like, he probably burned like 5 or 6
some
grand.
Pussy for the rest of us, Rick Stacy.
His mansion was ugly as fuck, though. If you ever went inside it had like pink walls and like shag carpet. And now that all that property is a neighborhood. He sold all of that. He parceled it out. And all of that field is all one big ass fucking neighborhood with like $bajillion mansions in it. His is still there, and all the rest of it they sold the fuck off. They did the same with the Sandlin house by Durham. It's in the center, and then they chopped up all the property, and now it's Sandlin Estates, and it's a neighborhood. It's a whole neighborhood. Yeah, dead ass. The Makis
I took 9 grams of mushrooms while making a short film for analysis of visual media when we were in high school, and then went over to the Sandlins, and they had like 2 ponds, right? Like.
Mm-hmm.
Like just crazy, and the shrooms like were like starting to kick in. I was sitting on the stairs, and there was a spider, and I was like terrified of spiders. And then all of a sudden, I was like, spiders aren't that bad. So I've never been terrified ever since. And then, out of nowhere, thunderstorm, boom! All of a sudden, I'm like over tripping. I get dizzy. I like sit down. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. Quick Draw takes me. We get in the car. We go to CVS, steal some Axe, just to spray it on us so that we don't smell like weed because we're going home. Rolls Royce drops me off. I go into the game room, put it on CNN. It's a documentary about a bunch of Romanian orphan. It's a Romanian orphan gang
Tight.
that gets exploited for sex,
Not
but also
tight.
but also does,
Not tight.
gymnastic tricks and shit, dude. Like they're like it's like the most depressing, like wild shit. And I was like watching that on mushrooms by myself, and I was like, and this is like all like on a Sunday afternoon.
Rolls Royce, the king of I'm tripping, I want to go home. One time we were we were watching a documentary on elephants when elephants like attack, and it was about like elephants when they're like in must, and they like chain them to trees because they like destroy villages and shit. It was the craziest documentary I've ever seen. And it ends, he's like, I want to go home. Made me drive him home. Worst idea ever. And then we ended up, he went to sleep and I stayed up and watched Natural Born Killers. Probably one of the weirdest movie experiences I've ever had, for sure. There was one time we were both at Sandlands, and Bronson got his van stuck in the mud trying to drive around his lake in the back. I don't know if you remember that. You were a little tore up from the floor up. And it was like, and we were out there at like, it was like daytime. By that point, it was almost like 8 a.m, and we were out there trying to get his van unstuck because he tried to drive it all the way out to the back. That shitty green van that he had. The first van, not the second van.
I was at a party there, and then like 30 dudes from like Keller, the city like over, show up. This is like a mansion that we're at, like that's like gated, as like the mansion is gated. Like these dudes all hop the fence. You remember? Were you there? Like,
I think I was
fucking
there.
raid the party is insanity. I was like standing in the pool house. Like there was some beef that I was unaware of. I never even got it. Like always a beef with like another city. Like I'm like, when are you guys out to these other cities? Like, well, who? You know, it's like
Yeah,
it's like,
it was normally
what the
like
fuck?
it was normally girl drama.
Even when we were like young, like we'd go with like the older Hanson brothers and like his like homies, like, and they'd be like, in a fucking
Fossil Ridge is talking shit. We got it. Fossil Ridge showed up at the Bolorama, and we're about to fuck them up. You're like, what? Like that's like a 45 minutes
all
away.
The
they drove all the way out here.
All of a sudden, like there's dudes who are getting hit in the head with baseball bats and like they're like brain damage. Like seriously, that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think, it comes with the territory, I guess. But that happened a couple times. But it always stemmed from some shit at a track meet or something at a baseball tournament or a football game where someone was talking too much shit and they're like, I'll find out who you are. And it's not like if you did that.
Wasn't like we didn't have social media. Yeah.
But I mean, you they'd be like, people would be out there with your picture and your name on their shirt. Might as well have your fucking address on it. Like, go number 23, go J Hugs, Joseph Huggins. I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, like quit saying my, like, it would be like very easy to figure out who somebody was, especially from our school. It was like, they made it too
reminds
easy.
me. Let's pivot. I got this homie who works at the dispensary. Shout out. And I'm going to say all of his names right now. So like I tell him like I'm there all the time and I like give him updates. Like I told him about when the shorty got mad at me, and then I told him about when I was going out to dinner with her that she broke up with me like before. Then I told him that she broke up with me that night. So I've told him everything. And so then when I told him she broke up with me, like he goes, oh, dude, now you're out here in the streets with me. He goes, they call me Kurt. That's his real name. Malik is his middle name. So he goes, Kurt at work. Leak in the streets. Malik with my family. And these hoes, they be calling me the big stepper. I was like,
that's awesome.
The big stepper, dude. Like, I wish I just called myself that.
Yeah, just go. You need to go put on some Boss Man D-Lo and like vibe out, and you'll feel better.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna be Like for real, like in a, like just be doing
Grind it
push-ups,
out,
sit-ups,
dude. Just
running.
grind it out, baby. Grind it out. Do you need a break real quick, or do you want to get into articles? We only got 2, but I added a third one just because originally we were going to talk about Pete Hegseth being a fucking idiot, and it just keeps going. So I at least wanted to touch base on it because that's pretty crazy. So I added that one.
No break.
Okay. This shit's crazy. This first article is wild.
Oh yes. Sorry, forgot that was my cue.
Oh, you're good. Bitch, I get happy when I count blue honeys.
So we don't really talk about it a lot, but India is a top 5 country that listens to this podcast. So shout out India. But when you have the most people in the world and you're the world's biggest democracy, so you're not closed off like China, because we ain't got no listeners in China apparently. We got Russia, we got Belarus, but not China.
We have Croatia.
That's a good question.
I'm just throwing it out there. 661.
For sure, for sure, but then I was like,
New Zealand, Australia.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, okay, I'm just saying, we're 61.
Australia's in the top like 3.
We're in, it's just we're at 61 countries right now, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we have 61 countries around the
2
world.
of those countries have nuclear bombs, and those 2 countries are attacking each other. From the Wall Street Journal by Shan Lee. India launches military strikes against Pakistan. Pakistan says it shot down 5 Indian aircraft in response. India said it conducted military strikes on 9 sites in Pakistan in retaliation for a deadly militant attack on tourists in Kashmir, intensifying a confrontation between the nuclear-armed neighbors. Pakistan's army spokesman Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry said at least 8 people were killed and 35 injured. Pakistan's defense minister told a local news channel that Pakistan shot down 5 Indian aircraft. The Indian Foreign Ministry didn't respond to a request for comment. The Indian Defense Ministry said its forces carried out strikes on camps terrorists have used to stage attacks against India, according to a statement released on Wednesday. We are living up to the commitment that those responsible for this attack will be held accountable, India's defense ministry said. Justice is served, India's army said on social media platform X. India's action came despite diplomatic efforts, including phone calls by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. I mean, is he Secretary of State? They call him the Make-A... They call him Rubio sipping the water. They call him the Make-A-Wish Secretary.
Little sipper, little sippy.
Make-A-Wish Secretary Marco Rubio to Pakistan's Prime Minister and India's Foreign Minister last week, aimed at persuading both sides to lessen tensions that have reached their highest points in years. I echo at POTUS's comments earlier today that this hopefully ends quickly and will continue to engage both Indian and Pakistani leadership towards a peaceful resolution, Rubio said Tuesday evening on X. Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif said that India attacked 5 places. We will not let the enemy succeed in this condemnable objectives, Sharif said in a statement Wednesday. The rivals have inched closer to conflict since gunmen burst into a scenic meadow April 22nd in Indian-administered Kashmir and killed 26 people, mostly Indian tourists. For the audience outside of India, Kashmir is like this disputed area in between India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan used to be the same country, and Kashmir, and then they split, the Hindus and the Muslims. It's kind of like what it is. And then Kashmir has like always been disputed, so there's parts of it that are run by India, parts of it that are run by Pakistan, but it's like up in the air, like actually whose it is, and so that's like part of the tension.
Yeah. There was that crazy shooting that happened in Kashmir at some like resort not a couple weeks, maybe like within the past 2 weeks, where some like militant group just showed up and just started indiscriminately shooting people. And it was like the worst shooting that Kashmir's had in like a while. Like massive casualties. It was some like festival thing where people were out and about, and there was just some random ass shooting. Like a bunch of military dudes showed up out of the woods. They say it's like one of the most beautiful places in Kashmir too.
So it's frozen.
Am I frozen? Frozen? Froze? Froze? Because now you're froze.
Well, while Joseph is currently frozen.
I'm not frozen.
Are you back?
Yeah,
you're back now.
I've been here the whole time.
It says my internet connection is unstable. Maybe it's me.
Yeah, it's probably you.
I was gonna say that I have a rap song called "Slumdog Trillionaire," and I say my raps are smooth like cashmere. That's why the cashier, pussy rappers from last year, getting pap smears.
Round of applause. This is pretty crazy though. Both have nukes. Boiling tension. All these. Why does everybody want to fight, man? Chill the fuck out.
You guys always do.
I know, but this is like crazy.
Yeah, there's like threat assessment groups and shit. Like this is they're used to countries.
I was like, there used to be until Trump's like, we're getting rid of. There's no threats. I'm in office
now. International.
Them two. If they're not here, okay, I am the national.
This is always at the top of the list.
I will enter their national. Either hole, doesn't matter.
There it goes again.
It's your internet, bro. It's not mine. Look at this behemoth behind me. I promise it's not my internet. No, I mean they've had beef for a grip. There's always some sort of tension and some sort of infighting going on over there, but you know, I think the tensions are high all around the world when it comes to certain things like this. So it is like now things like obviously there is a theme of escalation across the globe when it comes to these type of conflicts. Like there's just a constant escalation. So like them doing it now versus something like this happening 10 years ago is not the same, because the world and the tension across the world is not the same.
Yeah. Okay, so it's disputed whether or not these were terrorists or whether or not the Pakistani military was behind it. For context, like the Pakistani military, like half of them are like okay. First of all, we give $1 billion. The United States gives $1 billion to Pakistan a year to not fuck around with India because they have nukes, and then it goes to their defense. So it goes straight to the fucking military. We give them $1 billion, and half their military is like kind of like shady as fuck, like they like that are like homies with the Taliban or just like the instability because guess what happened whenever we went into Afghanistan? Guess who got more than $1 billion? You know, the Pakistani military. So now we're paying them to like help us out because we're at war for fucking 20 years. So it's like they like it's a conflict of interest, you know. It's like they get more resources and shit from the United States when like shit's like not stable there. Not saying that's all of them, because I think they're like that, like they are reliable like on some shit with like fighting terrorism, but it's like there are like factions like in there, so that's just worth pointing out.
Did you know that like almost 70% of the world's supply of ketamine comes out of India? They're the largest producer of ketamine, and they like distribute it all over the world. So there's like a big illegal smuggling underground where people like try to send it into the U.S. illegally. Like if you get, so the chances are if you ever got ketamine, it probably came from India.
Oh, Elon got ketamine, bro.
Yeah. Oh.
Let me tell you.
For sure.
Next article. This is from Reuters by Andrew Chung. U.S. Supreme Court lets Trump's transgender military ban take effect. Summary: Trump order could oust thousands of transgender troops. Military guidance bars people with gender dysphoria. Federal judge blocked Trump's ban as unconstitutional. All right, so like I just heard a breakdown of it. So like away from the article, what happened was Obama said that it was okay for transgender people to join the military. When Trump got into office the first time, he came out with some like um, new thing where it was like you couldn't be transgender in the military, but like or like you couldn't join if you had gender dysphoria or something like that. Been
Yeah.
diagnosed with it, and then but now they've gone a step further, where so basically not 100%, but like like huge, almost all people who are transgender are diagnosed with gender dysphoria, just for context. So anybody diagnosed with that now is not even allowed to be in the military and is going to be discharged if you're already in the military. Plus, they're not recruiting people who are transgender anymore because they can't be in there.
I think if you're willing
And
to go fight, let them fight, man. That's like,
yeah, no shit. They're already having like catastrophic like recruiting problems getting people to come join. And then it's like you guys are doing this for what? Just like for the cruelty is the fucking point. Like you fucking idiots. Like you guys are so insecure you can't be around transgender people. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like man the fuck up. Like it or woman the fuck or they the fuck up. They the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like but like so they're trying to do this. A federal judge in the 11th Circuit of Appeals, I think it's 11th, maybe 10th Circuit, in Washington, D.C., blocked them from doing this until the case went through. So it's like you guys can't do this while we're like litigating it. And then they took that to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, no, you can do this while it's being litigated. And now it's back down to the lower court to decide if they can do it at all. But they're allowed to implement it now while they're trying to figure it out if it's legal or not.
Is it an honorable discharge? Do they get like all their benefits and shit?
Doubt it, dude, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
I mean,
like you didn't finish. You didn't finish.
I mean, the Supreme Court's been pretty crazy lately in the way that they've been going against Trump on a lot of the things that he's been trying to do, which has been a little bit refreshing. But like, come on, I mean, you think that the Jesus
they didn't say that this was okay. They just said
no,
okay.
I know that they can implement it. But I'm just saying in general. But I mean, if let's say it gets denied, they lose President Trump and the administration lose the litigation process. They're going to take it back to the Supreme Court, and I have a feeling the same group of people that overturned Roe v. Wade are going to sit there and be like, oh yeah. I mean, we're not talking about like stepping on the Constitution or anything like that. We're talking about people we don't want around, people that read books to kids. Like, I mean, you know, it's like stupid shit. Like this is one of the things that if it gets litigated out and it ends up at the Supreme Court, I totally expect them I would not be shocked if they banned them from being able to be in the military at all. Like, and it got reaffirmed. That would not be shocking.
Like, I mean, they're going to come after gay marriage. Dude, like, they told us what they were going to do. They're going to come after interracial marriage, dude. They're going to come after condoms. They're going to come after birth control.
Yeah, I mean,
segregation.
Well, they've already.
Table.
Well, we talked about how they can. If you want to build a whites only water fountain, you can do that as a contractor. Like you're not federally barred from building.
I'm not saying do it. We're just saying
segregated spaces. That's crazy.
You could. I mean,
that crazy old man always wanted me to build a blacks only portion of his catfish parlor. So I think, you know what? I couldn't take it. I'm taking the money now. We're doing it.
What is a catfish parlor?
No, it's like a fish place. You go buy fish. Catfish. I don't know.
I just didn't know what that was. I didn't know if that was like some sort of, like
euphemism, some sort of like code word. Yeah. Catfish parlor. Yeah, I mean, it's not shocking, and this is, like they said, is they're trying to bull rush and overload the courts, overload the system with all of this bullshit to try to make them kind of pick and choose and see what sticks to the wall. It's all Stephen Goebbels Miller. So
Santa Monica fascist.
They just did in Texas. They signed a bill where if you use an altered, doctored, or not real meme in a political ad, it's 10-year sentence and a fine. You can go to jail for using a meme in a political ad. So like, it's really funny. There's like pictures of like Greg Abbott standing, and they're like, if you use this now, you could go, because Hot Wheels can't stand, because it's not real. So it has to be like a real like picture, real depiction of the person. You can't like use a meme or some sort of like propaganda style picture of someone to mislead the public in a political ad, which is fucking crazy. Texas is hitting home runs. They just signed School of Choice with the voucher program that just got passed through. So now, I get all these YouTube ads all the time now. Maybe it's because I moved to the Hearst area, but it's like, like mid cities, and it's like, can your kid actually read? I get these like long ass video ads like in the middle of some true crime documentary where they're like, just because your kid gets A's and B's and they get great report cards doesn't mean your kid can read or read it at their grade level or even read at all. Like the most ridiculous shit. We're just reaching such a level of stupid. And if your kid can't read because you put an iPad in front of it all the time, that's not public school's fault. That's totally up to you. That's your own fucking fault. No, there's a lot of kids that are, I see it all the time where rather than having their kids interact.
Okay,
and
but
like
there's kids who can't, like, that have like disabilities.
True. No, I know that, but I'm talking about they're making it sound like every single kid in the state of Texas either can't read or like seniors are reading at a third grade level. Like hyperbolic, like so.
Who's saying that?
The people, it's like lawyers and state state representatives and senators, like trying to push for for charter schools and the school voucher program, which is the DeVos family fortune comes from like charter schools and vouchers, basically funneling public school funds to pay like privately owned for-profit educational centers. So like money that would go to
I know what they're doing. Yeah,
like Carroll ISD is South Lake's on the verge of becoming.
Instead of like the money going to public schools, they're going to go to these vouchers so the rich people can spend them on private schools. So now now there'll be less people at the public school, so they'll get even less money because it's like allocated by like not population but like class size or whatever, not class size. Class size, whatever, like
enrollment,
how many kids are at the fucking school
within the school district,
so when there's less fucking kids going to the school, you get less money, and then you get less money because they're giving the money to the kids to leave the school. So they're doing this on purpose.
But it doesn't even cover the full pay. So there's a lot of people who won't be able to with the voucher won't be able to go.
So they're giving the voucher to the rich people who can afford the private school. The people who don't actually need the voucher, so that money that's supposed to go to the public schools is now going to them, and then they're getting less money because of the less kids, and then the school starts to suck, and then they're like, oh, see, public schools suck. Why aren't all schools private? Boom, done, privatized. For-profit schools, that's their fucking goal. They want to privatize Social Security, Medicare, that's their fucking goal. They see money, there's trillions of dollars, billions of dollars spent on education, like that they don't get to fucking get, and then they're like, oh, why isn't it making a profit? It's not to make a fucking profit, dipshit. It's to help kids learn.
Yeah, it's like, they were talking about gutting Section 8 housing. We're talking about getting rid of Section 8 housing and limiting the time you can be on it.
The projects.
Yeah, like living assistance, but that's, I don't know. I could just.
Dude, these people are terrible.
Yeah.
They'd rather take like food from starving kids in Sudan, starving people, all of them, 250,000 of them, fucking like on famine. Like they'd rather do that so they can go give fucking a tax cut to Bezos. What?
So he can send his dick rocket into space with Katy Perry on it.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
even like space. Just like we're in space for like 10 minutes and then we come back down. Like what is that, dude? That's like riding the riding the mini mine train at Six Flags. I'd rather ride the fucking mine train. Why am I riding the mini mine train? There's not even a big drop in it.
All right, let me pitch you this. They all do that space shit, but don't tell anybody. We just like find out like from like a paparazzi. Like a paparazzi's like, yo, dude, look at this. I just saw Katy Perry and Gail, whoever else was there.
Gail King.
Yeah. Whoever I don't. Yeah.
With Oprah in the crowd, of course. Like, oh my God.
Right, and Chloe.
Why didn't Oprah's ass get up there? Why didn't they send Oprah into space?
Dude, what are you talking? I'm surprised Gail went up there, dude. I thought you guys were risk adverse. You know, like I thought black people did not do shit like this.
No, I mean we shouldn't.
Not. I'm not saying being an astronaut. I'm saying go up into
a blue dick rocket.
Yeah, like a first edition.
Yeah.
Commercial flight with nobody on board who's lived or works for NASA.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, terrible idea. Right. Terrible. I'll be there when you land.
Exactly.
Or crash. Stupid. I mean, so final article, we can just make it quick. I mean, Hegseth is just stupid. He's had at least 12 signal chats about Pentagon business, which is wild. So Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth discussed Pentagon business on at least 12 separate signal app chats. He supposedly he bypassed a server and had his own computer so he could access Signal and have these communications off the record with people on an unprotected server, which is essentially what Hillary Clinton was doing with emails and all that sort of goofy shit. On the Signal.
Not even.
Yeah, this is next level. Why it matters. The Trump administration officials' use of Signal came under scrutiny after The Atlantic reported earlier this year that Hegseth, the National Security and then National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, who got canned, and several other cabinet-level officials discussed highly sensitive plans for a military strike against Yemen's Houthi militants in a Signal group chat that inadvertently included the editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic. And I guess there was another one where he was discussing it with his wife and his brother. Like, his wife sits in on these briefings.
His personal lawyer.
Yeah, like his wife sits in on these fucking meetings. His fifth wife that he has a kid with because he's cheated on all the other ones and getting bitches.
No, I was just talking to my mom because I went over to my mom's house and slept on their couch.
Going through it, bro.
Bro, I didn't get to work till 10:30 yesterday. What was I gonna say?
He's as dumb as everybody thought he was.
My brother was there. And we were talking about Pete Hegseth, yeah, and I was like, and my brother's trying to talk about these people aren't Christian, and I was like, yeah, I was like, this is a real story. There's a police report where Pete Hegseth has to talk to the cops because he's yelling at his mistress while his girlfriend is up in the hotel room and his wife is back home with his kids. So he's got 3 chicks. Women. He's juggling all at the same time, while he's drunk and then talking to the cops. This is our Secretary of Defense, dude.
Yeah, it's covered in Nazi tattoos.
He's cheating on his girlfriend, who he's cheating on his wife with. That's insane.
Yeah, that's cheatception, dude. That's just so many layers to that. It's a cheat inside a cheat inside a cheat. That's inside inside a dirty hotel. That's wild, man.
But we trust him with our secrets, dude.
Yeah, I don't know how you could. I mean, you could trust him.
He's so blackmailable. It's fucking crazy. How quickly somebody could get anything out of him that they wanted because he just does horrible shit all the time.
Yeah, and it was Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, John Radcliffe, Tulsi Gabbard, of course, her Russian asses in this group chat. I
just saw a headline that she's been using the same password on all of her accounts, and it's super easy for years.
Not shocking. And I'm sure it was somebody who's like, hey, what do you think my password should be? Like, you should make it tic-tac-toe, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is perfect. No one will ever figure it out. It's so easy, it's hard. She's like, you're right, Sergey. That's a really great... I'm from Hawaii. I'm like, shut up, bitch. What they're saying, senior official, the use of personal phones and commercial apps introduces unnecessary risk. Signal is considered unclassified by the government for a reason. It's clear that the U.S. government systems have had a hard time keeping up with the required pace of business. And a lot of it is like, all like the conversation was set to delete, so it's like they're having these conversations knowing they're not supposed to be having them, so then they can erase them later and discuss whatever they want to discuss, and then just like it's not record. Anything like text, emails, all that stuff is preserved, and that is a part of the official record of the administration. So by doing that, they're basically like
they're breaking the law.
Yeah,
it's the Preservation of Records Act.
Yeah. Shocking that the national security or Secretary of Defense is, for the guy who stole a bunch of classified documents, is breaking the law when it comes to documents and preserving
immediately
shit. And preserving shit. Yeah. But best 100 days anybody's ever had.
They don't want people to see this. That's why they're using Signal, because it disappears. But they're just incompetent. It's his own best friend who came out and fucking told us this story. That's what it is. It's his homie from like the charities that he fucking like got into debt with and like got fired from. This guy worked with him there. They wanted him to I don't know, and then he left and said that this shit is fucked up and chaos, and he's got more shit.
He's like a Days of Our Lives character,
right? But this isn't like some like whistleblower libtard. This is his like homie he brought into the Pentagon with him.
Yeah, it's like the guy who said like
who's telling us that he got in the group chat with the fucking wife.
It's like the guy who was saying
about the Houthis.
Well, no, it's like the guy who was saying like, oh no, Matt Gaetz was totally like using Venmo to pay people to like fuck them. Like, well, how do you know that? Because I literally got charged and convicted of it, and I was there, he was there.
His boy.
We were both there, and like and we left voicemails with people like together, like talking on it, and you could hear us. It's the equivalent of that. It's fucking wild. Pete, like this Hegseth guy, is everything you'd think a Fox News daytime Fox News anchor would end up being. He's like, I mean, we already knew he was a scumbag, but now he's just like a total moron and just can't stay out of trouble. 12 separate chats. The first one was like, no, it didn't happen. This is crazy. There's no military plans. There's nothing sensitive. And then he released all the screenshots of the messages, and it's like, no, it tells you like the exact time, the flight path. Like he's a walking contradiction. He's like a good Green Day song, dude. Just a walking contradiction, dude. It's fucking madness that this dude hasn't been fired. But they called it. Waltz was going to get fired for adding him to the Signal chat. Not that he's a part of it. Not that any rules are broken. They're just like kicking him out of the group because him adding the guy was like, oh man, I can't believe you did that, dude. Shit, bro. You can't hang out with us anymore. Your mom caught you smoking weed, so now we can't hang out with you.
I heard it's because Mike Wells used to be in Special Forces, and so he's Team America. This is from the Mooch, Scaramucci, and he's Team America, and he's...
I love how we all just trust the Mooch now.
I do.
I know, but Scaramucci was like...
With my life. But Anthony Scaramucci, he said that so he's Team America, and so he is a hawk on Iran, and Russia obviously is aligned with Iran and gets like drones and shit for them, like from them for the war. And if you guys want to know, so Iran backs Hamas, and Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, right? Iran proxy attacks on October 7th. What's October 7th? Putin's birthday. Tell me that's a coincidence that the attack on Israel happened on Putin's birthday, dude.
And then
shit on his birthday all the time. But my point is, Russia and Iran are close. Mike Waltz is hawk on Iran. Theory is that's Mike Waltz had to go because Putin wanted him to go, because Iran wanted him to go.
Yeah. I mean, then in sad news, our boy, friend of the pod, 7 years in 7 years in
Santos?
prison. Santos, 7 years in federal prison for fraud, wire fraud, and a bunch of other stuff. Didn't see that
He'll
coming.
get out. He'll get out. He'll get out in 2.
Yeah, he'll get out pretty quick, but that's sad, man. You know, I was
Yeah, whatever. He'll have a good time.
I was coming around. Yeah,
They'll humble him.
he'll come out and he'll have a pod.
Like, who else would enjoy prison more than our boy George Santos, friend of the pod, best friend of the pod, George Santos?
Yeah.
Dude is obviously gay.
Really?
Yeah.
You think? I didn't know. He was married to a woman.
So he might enjoy that aspect of prison. Aspect of prison. And then also, he's a fucking scheming hustler, dude.
He's gonna come out like better than ever.
Dude, he's gonna get shit on his books left, right, and center, dude. Like, dude, they're gonna be hitting him up. Like, he's gonna have like the best burritos. He's got all the ramen. He's got the Tapatio big bowls, dude.
Yeah, he's probably going to do pretty well in there. But
Yes.
but it is sad because we
Prison
started
king.
out pretty critical of him. Then we learned to appreciate his brazen and brashness when it came to just like being unapologetically him. I think I came around whenever there was like he was super anti-gay, anti-trans, and then there was pictures of him. You know, it was like comes out the Brazilian government's looking for him because he was like committing fraud in Brazil and was was cross-dressing and doing like parades and shit at La Carnival and stuff. And I was like, I fucking love this guy. Like the fact that
Do you know what his pronouns are?
What are
USA.
they? Oh, that's pretty good. Like he might come out and run for office again, and he'll wind up on the debate stage. I would vote for him in a primary just to see him like show up, just to be like, yeah, I would want to see him.
Yeah, I would vote for him. Period.
No, I want to see him there.
Get him in Congress. Congress is fucked up anyway.
Yeah, but you would have to beat him. I'm like, hey, look, I'm team him.
And also, that he's like in charge of your district, and because otherwise you can't vote for him.
True. Well, I might move. We'll see what happens when he gets out. We'll see where he ends up.
You're just gonna roll that grenade in there. Like here's like a kiss goodbye.
Hey, roll a grenade. Hey, Santos might jump on.
So we have
that
to
for me.
move to where Santos is gonna run.
So we can vote for him. Yep.
See, guys. See, the MAGA fools were right, dude. We are scheming on voter fraud.
I just need to
talking about moving our entire lives.
Well,
to
just
a
wait.
district.
I'll live here. I'll live in this house for 3 years. Then get another house. Make that my homestead. Keep this, and then if it doesn't work out, he loses. I move back. But I'm just saying, like I would follow that man anywhere, except into prison.
Sit.
But if I did, I want to be bunkies.
Well,
because,
as his lawyer, I would follow him into prison. For counseling.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, whenever I saw he got like convicted of it was 7 years, I was like, damn, that's hard. Front of the pod.
Not bad. I thought he was going away a lot longer than that.
Oh, I mean, he totally should. The fact that they're not like, okay, Brazil, he's yours now. Like, he might end up who knows? He's like the Carmen Sandiego of just like, he's like a gay Carmen Sandiego.
I just have a feeling he can't go away.
And he probably looks
he's going to be in our life forever.
Just as good in like a big ass hat and a red jacket. I feel like he could pull off the Carmen Sandiego look.
Maybe
Santos San Diego, dude.
Maybe his mom was Carmen Sandiego before she died in 9/11.
Yeah, it's true. We didn't know. Because she was actually black and Jewish. You didn't know that. No one knew that. But black, Jewish, Hispanic, Carmen Sandiego. So, dude.
New Yorker.
Dude. Well, yeah, then she moved to New York because she had to escape her past. Obviously.
And then had an Ivy League child.
Yeah, and then she had, the future of the U.S., like, in her womb.
Volleyball star.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Incredible volleyball. What? The level.
The chef's kiss of, like, nobody's going to check Ivy League men's volleyball stats. And why would somebody claim that?
Well, somebody did, and they were like, this guy's full of shit. Like,
no, not until he ran twice.
Oh, yeah, I know. And he won the second
time. And it wasn't until
time.
he got elected that anybody even looked into it.
And it started out like you stole money from a dog foundation for
but
vets, like
he-
all
he's
sorts
like,
of.
oh,
Like,
shit, I already got sworn in. Oops, I got sworn in.
I live in this big mega house with my wife, and they were like, "You're like sleeping on you're sleeping on your sister's couch, bro. Like, what are you talking about?"
Oops, I just voted on your health care.
Dude, incredible. And they're like, "Are you gonna resign?" He's like, "No, I'm not gonna resign." I love. Oh man, just lightning in a bottle, man. George Santos, now he's lightning in a cell, but he'll bust out. You can only bottle up lightning for so long, dude, before it busts.
Hey, George
busts out.
Santos, just like me, bro. You could either blow up or you could glow up.
Let's say it costs us
Nobody's coming to save you, big dog.
Like, I want to put like $5,000 on his books just to see if we can get him on video chat on the pod. If there's a guest that I would pay to have on the pod, Santos is one of them. Oh yeah.
What we could do is cameo, right?
I don't know if you can do cameos from federal prison.
Well, he's not in prison right now.
Right now.
Well, don't you think he wants those checks coming in?
True. That's good. We could be
Get
like,
on cameo, dude.
we'd be like, hey, come on our podcast. We'd love to have
invite
you.
him on the pod.
And he'd be like, okay. He might.
I bet his cameo rates have gone way the fuck down. Well, maybe not now.
Or up. They're probably up, dude. Like, it's like limited
now that he's going to
edition.
prison.
Limited
You're right,
edition.
you're right.
It's like
You're right.
It's like ultra.
They probably went down, and now they're probably back up.
It's like a Nike.
How could I doubt you, Santos? Sorry. About
Yeah,
that,
it's like a Nike drop, dude. Like, hey,
if that is your real name,
we're releasing the '97 Jordans
which we know it's not.
in grape. Like, you better get this shit while it lasts. Like, there's, I need to get a George Santos shirt, a free Santos shirt with his picture on it.
Maybe a tattoo.
I have a free TK shirt, and that didn't work out too well. He just got convicted on another murder, so that's. But a Santos shirt he can get out and get him to sign it. Dude, we need to be there when he gets released. Like,
yeah,
like be there,
But
like
live,
dude, like we fucking love you.
Podcast with the microphone.
Everything about you is perfect.
With an extra one with him.
Yeah, just bring a hotspot. I got the equipment. We just gotta get a little internet action, or you just use like an iPhone or my
First interview out of prison.
I'd do it.
Talk shit.
Yeah. Talk shit with us, George.
What would you ask him?
What did God say to you before he dropped you down on this earth? And he'd be like, well, when I was talking to God. Like, I don't know. First question, I'd want to...
How's the rectum?
There's no... I think he's just going to tell that. I think he'd walk out and be like...
He's like, dude, he's a power bottom. Like, I have no doubt he'll be able to survive 7 years.
Yeah, collegiate volleyball star.
Shut the fuck up. Let's get out of here.
You got anything else for us, man?
Meditate, bitches. I'm gonna really start meditating too. Just I got to.
But no, man, just keep your head up, player. We love you. Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, thumbs up, share, whatever, rating. We appreciate you guys. Yeah, in the new stew, and it's only going to expand. So we're back on our every week now, which is nice. Apologize for the little break, but it sounds like we both kind of fucking needed it. So it's good to be back and refreshed and revitalized. But as always, take care of yourselves. Be good, be safe, stay out of trouble. And as always, go fuck yourselves.
Every now and then when I feel a bit buggy, I look at the floor, man, I need a new ruggy.
Recording
Scratch that,
stopped.
Get some beers and get chuggy. Nah, man,